Okay, Juno with a little bit of a late start there. 3 or 4 seconds of inactivity shouldn't cause too much of a problem. But Juno spawning here in the bottom left-hand corner is Xel'Naga Caverns. This is MLG's version, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It has a supply depot down on the ramp, so it prevents wall-offs.
And his opponent, TheTrevor, not just Trevor, but TheTrevor, spawning as the purple Zerg in the top right-hand corner. And when I play purple in custom games, so I'm cheering for TheTrevor, even though I know the outcome.
Yeah. All right, so let's see here. Okay, standard play.
So, yeah, Juno going to be opening up with a supply depot at his ramp. Obviously, he's going to wall in. You want to wall in versus Zerg.
Yeah, just to prevent those run-ins. So.
Yeah. And I don't know, my favorite build right now, like I said, is mech. I like to open up with a barracks at the front, wall it off with another depot, and then go for a quick factory, and then expand, and go from there. I used to do a 1 barracks fast expand, but that did not work. I've seen a lot of people doing that on ladder, and what that does is it just gives you too much inactivity as a tear, and you can't put a lot of pressure on.
Yeah. And a big thing with that, too, is it's really susceptible to bailing bust.
It is.
Because the only defense you have is bunkers, so there goes your wall, and then lings can run past the bunker into your mineral line, and that pretty much seals the deal. So.
And I've noticed if you don't put enough pressure on the Zerg, you tend to let them drone up, and you just get too far behind.
Yeah, and here's a really interesting thing. Juno placed his barracks in the corner of his base, and right now, the Trevor is scouting around to see where his proxy is. So
you think he's thinking 2 racks, eh?
Yeah, it's just shocking him a little bit, and little things like that let you get ahead. So probably not in this level of play, but regardless of now he sees the barracks. He's like, oh, okay.
So we still went for hatch first, nonetheless. Getting his pool up now. No gas quite yet. That means speed's going to be very delayed. And that means if he does go into a factory with Hellions, they are going to own.
Yeah.
Gas steel coming in from the Trevor, so instead of taking his own geyser, he felt he's going to long-distance mine from his opponent's geyser. How do you feel about that? Okay,
no, it's a good question.
I'm kidding.
I was focusing in the game there. I do like that play, actually. Long mining is a bit. And here's the harassment bunker, just forcing some drones off the line. This strategy is it's always good to do. Yep. Terran pays nothing for it, and Zerg has to pay.
So it's going to be a Reaper expand, actually. I like this. It's going to allow him to get right into a factory.
And there we go. We have another
barracks.
Bunker. And we have a Reaper coming as well, so that's going to do a lot of damage to the drones. And without speed even started, you can keep this pressure on for quite a while.
The Spinecrawler's already on the way, though.
But here's Juno's characteristic Marine micro. Really keeping that on. If this bunker finishes, he's not targeting down the SCV, so that's probably going to finish.
Oh, the Marine!
And he's finished.
Just barely.
But there's too many lings, though. But that did its damage.
It did its damage, but he
here
didn't
comes
get
the
to
Reaper,
salvage that. So
if he can micro the Reaper as well as using the Marines, he can really keep sniping drones and keep killing everything. So this harass is definitely not over.
Pretty close, though. Second Spinecrawler's going up. I'd like to see Juno pop in with that Reaper and check out the main base, just to make sure
I would like
to.
He put drones here for seemingly no reason. Must have been a misclick there, so... let's just look here. 24 drones to 21 SCVs. That's actually a really good spot to be in as a turn. So
Juno's transitioning from barracks to even more barracks. He's just getting his stim.
He doesn't tend towards mech at all. He's really a bio-heavy user, so we're probably going to see lots of Marines and lots of medevacs. It's kind of his play style.
2 Reapers here. They both stay alive, which is key.
So he's getting quite a few kills. Like that one Reaper has 4 kills now. That's 5, 6 there.
Ooh,
and
the Reapers are picked off.
But they did their damage.
They did, yeah.
So keeping that worker count. He's even picking up ahead in the worker count. So
his gas is still here.
Yeah, it's still in. So
engineering bay going up beside it. That will be visible.
We should probably toggle off the time, but. This game
they already know the ending, so.
Yeah.
I like the positioning of the Trevor's Overlord here up in the top left corner. It can poke in and see what's going on.
Yeah, I like that too. It's that's the thing with this map is it's really it's quite the distance. So all Juno needs to do is put one Marine there, and it'll prevent it from starting into the base too far. So another good spot is right underneath in between the main and natural, and usually you see that more in PVZ.
So the Trevor did poke up. He got to see the Marauder, so he knows that it's more than likely a barrack style.
Yeah, and he actually went Baneling's mattressing methods. Really interesting. So Marauders can tank a lot of Banelings.
They can.
But if you have enough Banelings, everything dies.
And I'm sure Juno's good enough not to do a one control group. I see a lot of Terrans, they just put their Marines and Marauders in one control group, and then if they try to do the patrol split away, it just doesn't work. And their Marauders start kiting too, and they should just be standing there taking Baneling damage. But we'll have to see how he plays that.
Yeah, so it looks like he's moving out here. He's got Stim, Shield, and almost +1 all timed out pretty well.
Yeah.
It looks like he dropped his end phase. It's slightly too late for that timing, but... And then, well, he's probably going to time it with concussive shells, because those are going to finish up pretty quick, so...
Yeah, concussive shells a fairly quick upgrade comparatively to Stim and even combat shields.
Yeah, so this is going to be an interesting push, and I don't know if he decides he's going to commit or not, but either way, he just forced 12 lanes and a bunch of burnings, so... Double Evo Chamber by Trevor, and Hatch, their Lair Tech, just finishing up here. He's got this extra queen, and he's got an extra queen, he's not, okay, now he's spreading creep. He's had that extra queen for a while. I was a little surprised that he wasn't creep spreading beforehand, so.
Scan goes down by Juno and sees that the Lair Tech is there, Baneling Nest is there, and I believe...
And the Baneling Nest was upgrading, so he knows exactly what's coming for him. And he took those rocks down, so it's ready for him to take a third whenever he wants.
Yeah, no command center quite on the way yet, but he does have a factory.
And I just dropped it as he said that. So.
Oh, fair enough.
And what do we have here? We have an SCV that was just got surrounded by wings.
Yeah, he's checking for a third base. Now that he knows there's no third base there, he's in a real good position. The supply tells itself. He's about 13 or 14 supply up.
And I really like this. These bunkers here. Like he's not putting these Marines as a normal army, but this really helps with Zergling Run guys. He can lock up his main, and pull his SCVs and just kind of hold position around the bunkers. So that prevents him from taking a lot of damage if the Zerg player decides to use Zergling Run-ins. So
Juno's going to take his third base. Starport is on the way. Almost finished. I'd like to see him get some drops out and start putting some pressure on the Zerg.
The Zerg had generally all his overlords are in good spots for drops, but if he just kills a few, he doesn't have a lot in those paths. So, even if he took the path up from the side base up, he can kind of zip through the fog of war. But also, those placements are good. It all depends on whether you're looking at that spot at that particular time or not. So,
Sorry, go ahead.
Keeping that peripheral vision right on the mini-map is always important. So
absolutely. That's actually one thing that holds me back is not paying attention enough to the mini-map.
Yeah, that holds a lot of players back. So
Trevor's putting his Zergling at every base here. I really like that as he's taking his third. Just keeping himself aware of what's going on. He doesn't know about the gold yet. I think he knows the rocks are destroyed. Yep, he does.
Yeah, but there's a planetary fortress. That lane ran through, and the command center was over it at that time. So he was keeping an eye on that. He knows about it. So, and here comes the Zerglings and Banelings. There's very few Banelings actually for this. So, and look at this. Juno's already split his army up. He knows exactly what's going on.
Even though they're speed Banelings, they're not on creep. Those Marines are going to have an easy time dancing around.
And one thing I want to point out throughout this entire game, once that timing came up, Juno, all he was doing is clearing the towers. And what this did is it was actually forcing Trevor not to drone. He was just keep building guys. He could have had this third up much sooner.
Absolutely, yeah. And Juno's on 3 bases well before his opponent is. And that's
if you look in the econ here, it's the mineral income for Juno is so much higher. He's even almost 10 workers ahead.
Meals are great.
Yeah. So he's up in workers and he has meals.
So 4th base coming from Trevor, and the Marauder is going to spot it. Juno's quickly going to go take that out.
But he's actually going in 3rd. Look at this nice split here. Preemptively splitting. it looks like these Lings will be able to clean this up, depending on how well the Banelings connect. And they only get a few Marauders, so armies will be traded, that's for sure. But there was a lot of Banelings in there, and the meter numbers are really small. And actually, wow, Juno cleans through this. Now he can snipe the hatchery, so yeah. And here's Juno's relentless assault, as most of the people in the U of R team know. It was just a million barracks, and yeah, here comes the reactors. Next out is 20 Marines at a time towards your base, so building workers at that point, you can't do that, so. Okay, here we go. The Marines are getting surrounded up a little bit. You should be able to clean that up, but the meter count's so low. Like, you can't pick off these medevacs very well, and here comes more Marines coming in the side here. So, the Trevor's in a really bad position. The economics are just piss poor compared to Juno's.
Yeah, Terran 3.5 base against Zerg 2 base is never a good thing. It's
and meter count's really suffering. Like, he needed that third so much sooner. To get these meters counts higher, and to have the Banelings with them, so you're gonna have to have both. Not one.
Mutas are going in, but there's too many turrets. There's just too few mutas and too few angles that he can do any damage from.
Look at that! Oh, nice. He baited them in with this huge tank, and then killed some mutas off with the Marines. So, okay, here we go. He's splitting the Zerglings in different directions. It's not really a good idea because the Banelings don't connect as much. So there's a lot of Marine kills there, but drones are coming off, and, you know, it's just the mutas left in those drones, so Marines are easily going to mow through these once the reinforcing runs comes. So quite the good trade. All this is preventing the third, and if you can prevent the third against the Zerg for even 2 minutes, it's pretty much an auto win at that point. So I see 2-2 upgrades from Juno, and he's even getting tank upgrades too, so he's just exploding with man centers here. He's just, I wouldn't be surprised if he sacks some SCVs here and just kills them all, so he'll send his all the SCVs into Gavin. Oh, a bad movement there on the drop ships. And here's the fourth, scouted again, so try to expand, no go. And it's funny, I was talking to Juno before this match, and he said, this is his favorite map, and I can really see why. Like, if you're fighting, you can really zone out as Karen all the third and the fourth bases quite easily, so.
Absolutely, this game came down to, Juno denying expansions and just staying aggressive. And that's one thing you need to do with a Marine tank style. You can't wait till max, because Zerg's just going to have too big of an economy.
Yeah, and I just actually flipped open the APM, and it's actually, both players are very high. They're probably averaging around 100. Yeah, about 140 on average, so.
And this is post-patch, so that is that's fairly high APM.
Yeah, that is very good. So.
That's kind of silly they kind of eliminated tapping from being judged by APM.
Yeah, that is a little goofy, but.
A couple races really rely on it.
Yeah, especially Terran and things like that, so. Looks like Trevor's concentration is kind of going down. He's missing injects, and his money is pooling so much. In this scenario, I don't understand why he didn't drop a macro hatch. Like, his minerals are just so high, he can pump out way more lanes, and then actually, be toe-to-toe with supply count, at least. But, again, every second that goes by, the more and more he's losing. So, Juno's even gotten a Thor out by now, and the amount of orbitals he has is just outrageous.
Yeah, there's no stopping Juno at this point. It's pretty much just a slow, methodical point until he gets to the base.
He picked off one, and he didn't get. Yeah, he stimmed everything. That's not too good. And there's more mutas in here, and he's bad mannering him with the sun. So, yeah, Banelings connect a lot, and these mutas are actually going to clean up. That's actually very bad. But again, 12 Marines reduction. It's the never-ending flow of Marines. So it begins.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's worse, the Scanflower or the Mule Drop, but
yeah. I think the scan's worse because then you can't see what's going on.
You can't even repair